Welcome to Photosynthesis. I'm Nessa, and this is my easiest plants as a new plant parent video. I really like orchids. Orchids, actually, I didn't bring my orchid, but to me, an orchid is one of the easiest house plants. You don't have to water them often, and you just keep them near a window. There's a few things to care with orchids, like you don't want to get the crown, the very top of the inside middle part of the leaves. You don't want to get water in there because it will rot, but you don't need to water them often. So they're really easy, really simple house plants. This was one of my first houseplant purchases back in March. So March is when I became a new houseplant parent, and I went full throttle. I bought all the houseplants that I could figure out. Rare anthuriums, rare philodendrons, calatheas, or geoportias, all the ones that people say not to get if you're a beginner. I went a little wild and I got really into it, and now I'm like, what? What did I do? This is a Golden Pothos, a Epipremnum aureum. If you've watched lots of houseplant videos on the easiest low light plants, you probably came across this. Sansevieria and ZZ plants as well. I didn't like how Sansevieria looked, the snake plants, or the, I think they're, if they changed their name, I don't know. But I did like how this vined, and this vined very quickly. It's fantastic. It sits in the middle of my home, doesn't need a lot of light, and it grows and it does well. It doesn't need to be watered very often. I water it probably like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. This is just a basic philodendron, vining philodendron, Cordatum scandens. I'm not exactly sure what the right name is. I've heard many things, but this I bought at Lowe's. I bought a big one. This is actually my first successful propagation, and I was able to plant it real small, propagate them by water, and put them in dirt after a few months, and it worked. I'm so happy. And I actually have them up here. So the next plants that I'll be showing you after my pothos. The pothos is the one downstairs. That one's the easiest one downstairs besides the orchid, which I didn't bring. I also bought the Brazil. Not easy. Not easy. I bought it online and it didn't come very well. But anyway, that's not this video. This video is about easy plants. Propagated. I have a huge one downstairs. It's been growing. Don't need to water it like often at all. This and the pothos, or pothos, I'm not sure how you say it. Those two plants are so minimal care. I do spray them often with neem oil. This I haven't sprayed my plants up here in a while. I should. But yeah, I spray them with neem oil, and I water them once a month. Once a month? Once a month? Maybe 2.5 weeks. Very simple, very easy. They don't require a lot. The cuttings have been doing well up here in this room. I don't really care about the humidity in this room because this is my beauty office space, whatever. So the plants up here get a lot hotter. It gets a lot hotter, a lot stuffier. I do try and keep the fan on sometimes, and I don't have air conditioning, and I don't provide humidity, so it is what it is, and this does well. This is a Philodendron Birkin, so I believe this was all the rage back in 2008. I don't even know, because I wasn't a part of the houseplant enthusiasts yet. I got it from Mickey's Plants in, I think, West Hollywood, which is like a fancy plant place. Leaves are very succulent, very thick. I don't have to water this one much either. It does fine up here in the room. It's kind of like several feet back from the window. It is a north-facing window. It does well. It's excellent, super easy to take care of. Yeah, it's good. Next plant, my Fittonia. So this is a nerve plant. This actually is kind of a funny plant. It just completely when it needs water. So this one's a bit fussy in like the sense that a peace lily is fussy, and I'm sure I would have kept my peace lily alive if I didn't try to propagate it as a baby plant. You can watch that video if you want. It acts like a peace lily when it needs water. I try and stay on top of it and water it before that happens, just so it's not like freaking out. I also got this one from Mickey's, and it has just done so well. I had it at first by my south-facing window where there's a big tree, so there's not really much light coming in at all, and it was doing fine. And now I have it on the bottom shelf of my bookcase, and it's doing great. Again, I have to be a little bit more on top of watering this one, but this plant is just super easy, and I love veining. Veining on plants, I just go crazy for. That's why I got into the rare anthuriums and then the philodendrons as well. They're so pretty. And then like jewel orchids, it reminded me of a jewel orchid kind of. Some of the leaves, some of the pattern, just because Oh, the veining is so pretty. So, number 1, orchid. Phalaenopsis orchids are super easy. Number 2, the pothos, however you say it, those are super easy as well. And number 3 would be the basic philodendron, vining philodendron. Number 4 would be the Philodendron Birkin, because out of all the random plants, that one was like really, really easy. And then this, Fittonia, super easy. So, and I'm sure a peace lily would be easy like the Fittonia, but I killed mine. Or it just wasn't a successful propagation. So it didn't last. So if I didn't do that, it probably would be fine, because that was my best plant before, when I had 5 plants. That's it for today. Oh, and by the way, do you like my plant earrings? My beautiful cousin Shannon bought these for me for my birthday. She sent them over from the East Coast. Well, she bought them from a shop, and the shop sent them over. Thank you so much to my cousin Shannon for these beautiful Monstera earrings. Oh, and by the way, I do have a Monstera, a regular Monstera. Not easy for me, no. They said it was a low-light plant. They said, no. It's just, I have it in the same place as the pothos. It just does not, it needs a lot more light, a lot more water. It's just not as, like, it needs to be bothered more than the can't be bothered pothos. So basically this video is the plants you don't really have to water often, except for the Fittonia. You do need to water this often, but besides that, it doesn't give me much problem. So that's why I put this at the bottom, but it's pretty easy. But the rest of them, you don't need to really water them that often. At least that's my experience. I'm a new plant parent, disclosure. March is when I got a lot of plants, and then April I went to like hundreds of plants. Then after April, May, June, I think June I started just like getting rid of plants or killing plants. So I think I have like around 30 to 40 plants now, and 100 is just too much. More than 100 for me, just too much. I just want to take care of the pretty rare plants that I have, and then some of the basic ones which I shared today in this video. So if you did like this video, make sure to like it, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye now.